Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2. It's a great day to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Let's jump right in. So, Cam Heyward, he has his own podcast called More Than Just Football. He decides to have the first round draft pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Derrick Harmon, on. And I just want to say one thing: Cam Heyward is the definition of the Steeler way. He's an incredible, incredible human being. He is a great human being. And let me tell you why. The Pittsburgh Steelers drafted Derrick Harmon to take Cam Hayward's job. Let that sink in. This is the guy that they drafted to take Cam's job. And you could tell the admiration, the love, the respect that he has for Derrick Harmon, wanting to show him the Steeler way. You could tell that he's going to share with him all the knowledge that he's gained with all the years that he's played in the NFL. You could tell that Cam is going to be Derrick Harmon's biggest fan. And the way that he embraces him and the way that he speaks to him here, it just speaks volumes about the type of human being that Cam Heyward is. You know, a lot of professional athletes, when the teams draft their replacements, they get an attitude. They don't want to help them. They'll say, it's not my job to prepare him to play. And I could kind of see, that side of it too, because you are super competitive and it's your job and you take pride in it and you've been playing football since you're a kid and that's your competition. So I definitely, I'm not saying anything bad when a guy takes it that way, but prime example of that, Brett Favre with Aaron Rodgers. Brett Favre made it clear he wasn't there to train Aaron Rodgers. When Aaron Rodgers met Jordan Love, he trained him. He took him under his wing. Jordan Love to this very day absolutely loves Aaron Rodgers, but I'm here to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Cam Heyward, this just shows me how he really appreciates and loves the Pittsburgh Steelers for drafting him in the first round of the draft, for changing his life, giving him an opportunity of a lifetime. It's obvious that Cam Heyward loves the black and gold, and he's going to stick to the Steeler tradition and do it the Steeler way. You see this all the time. Most Pittsburgh Steelers, the majority of them, not all of them, but the majority of them, especially if they're a veteran, they played a long time on the Steelers will draft their replacement. That player will come in, and the veteran that's been there for 10 or more years takes him under his wing, shows him everything that he knows, and then he's off into the sunset because of that young guy that they just drafted. And I absolutely love this about Cam Heyward. This is such a beautiful thing. It's bigger than football. It's bigger. It just shows the type of human being that he is. I mean, I can't say it enough. I can't even put it enough words that Cam Heyward is just an awesome, awesome person. I'm not going to play this whole video, but let's look at the video and you can see the admiration that Cam has for Derrick Harmon, and I absolutely love it.
A very special guest, our first round draft pick, 24 overall or 25?
21.
21, damn.
I heard
looking better
you
than me.
went way better.
Way better than you.
Chill.
Well, let's jump right in. You ready to go? How you feel?
Man, I'm good. I'm good.
You adjusted?
Yeah.
What was it, about 2 weeks you've been here so far?
3 weeks, going on 3.
All right,
Yes,
so
sir.
take us back to that draft day. What was it like the moment that the Steelers called?
First and foremost, I had to make sure it wasn't no prank call.
They were running around, right?
Did you get a prank call?
I didn't, but like I was on the phone with my best friend, well, not my best friend, my good friend Jordan Birch. Then I talked to 10, James Pierce.
Yeah.
And they said they was getting all fake calls and things, so I was worried it was gonna be me next. So I seen the number, answered it, man. He was on the phone. He talking about you over there on 8 Mile. No, I'm not on 8 Mile. I don't live on 8 Mile. But no, it was good. It was everybody say that draft night is a time that you won't forget, and it's really unreal. And it was unreal once I got that call, and just hearing Omar, then hearing DY, man, it was still a dream to this day, though.
Did you think that night you were going to go to the Steelers?
No, I thought y'all were gonna come quarterback first. I did. I kept seeing it. So I'm like, so once I seen it, I was surprised, but I was happy because I came on my 30 visit. Coach T and Omar, they was just shit, nothing but love and showing nothing but love to me and telling me, like, if you there, we gonna get you. But
Yeah.
you never know how the draft go, because the draft go either way.
They were talking to me. They were like, they liked this one. And so it was if you were going to be available to us. And
Right.
I knew we weren't taking a quarterback. I can tell you.
He was saying
I wanted to stop the video right there. Cam Heyward is a very large man, 6'5", 285. But Derrick Harmon, when you see the size of him, even sitting next to Cam Heyward, I mean, damn, he is a very large man. And this large man can move excellent like a ballerina.
did know that. I will say he knew that. He did know that.
But man, just talking with Coach T, what were your thoughts about meeting Coach T?
Man, my first encounter with Coach T was in the combine. So mind you, funny story. Actually, my first visit, I think it was like New York, and that room was like right next to each other.
Yeah.
So I run into Pittsburgh interview. I'm like, I shake everybody, how y'all doing? I'm like over amped to do this interview. He like, nice to meet you. I love your energy, but listen, it's not your first meeting. So just go ahead, come back with the same energy. That was my second interview. So that was my first encounter. Then when I did have my first formal interview with him, just said, no, we just chopped it up, dude.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about ball, just chopped it up. Learned about my background. They told me about his background. Like, you can sit down and have a 2-hour conversation with Coach T.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I really like about him, dude. You can sit down, don't got to talk ball, just talk life with him. So that was cool for me.
Is there any other team that you thought you might end up with?
Not the Browns. No, not the Browns.
Thank God.
What's the horse team? What is that? Broncos. Yeah.
What was your first impression of Pittsburgh, and have they forced you to eat Permane Brothers yet?
What is that?
Exactly. Keep it that way.
He hates Permane
Yeah, don't eat it.
Brothers. It's like a Pittsburgh staple where they put French fries on the sandwich. I'm sure you're gonna have to go there. But what's your first impression of Pittsburgh?
First impression, wow, because I seen hills. I didn't think Pittsburgh had hills like that. I seen cribs, and I seen houses in the hills, and I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So seeing that, I was surprised, and seeing all the bridges. It's so beautiful over the bridges too. So my first impression was just wow, really. Once I seen them hills and cribs in the hills, thought I was in LA or something. You know? So
Weather's a little different, by the way.
I can
A
tell.
little
But
different.
like, you grew up in Michigan, right?
yes, sir, Detroit.
And then you went to Michigan State and then went to Oregon. Are you ready to come back to the cold of Pittsburgh?
No, I am, man. I am. My time I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, so I know how it is. One day it's gonna be hot, that snow might come the next day. So
For real.
I'm good, and I played enough snow games in my career, so I'm prepared.
What do you like better, Pac-10 or Pac-12 or Big Ten?
I've never been in the Pac-12.
Yeah, he was a Oregon guy. 1 year at Oregon. Big Ten guy.
Shoot,
Yeah.
you guys were already Big
Yeah,
Ten.
it's already a Big Ten.
Yeah, Oregon switched to Big Ten the year I transferred.
Wow. What was that transfer portal like? Did you know you were going to end up at Oregon?
I had a good feeling because that was my dream school.
Was it?
Yeah, I had a good feeling, but at that time, it was a lot of schools pulling at you, trying to get you. My real choice is going to be Ohio State or Oregon.
And you chose Oregon over Ohio State?
Yeah.
Phil Knight money, man. That's Phil Knight. Did Phil Knight just call up? Does he just call? Is that how that worked out?
Never talked to Phil.
There's one thing that I love about Derrick Harmon, and it's like he's dripped in humility. You know, when you meet somebody and they try to be fake humble or they try to be like a fake tough guy and it comes across fake, you can sense it immediately. There's nothing fake with Derrick Harmon. He's very, very real. And I mean, a real tough guy, a real ruggedness that you can't coach. You either got it or you don't. And not only is he dripped in humility, but he has this type of toughness. If you see him on tape and the way that he moves, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers got a complete steal, a complete stud, a game-changing stud. When you look at the size of him, he really reminds me of Cortez Kennedy. He is absolutely sensational on tape, but he has a certain type of toughness and grit to him, like a Mean Joe Green. He's got feet like Warren Sapp, but he's as big as Cortez Kennedy. He's going to be an absolute steal. He's going to be a monster.
Unless I was in the locker room after that UW game.
Okay.
Oh. Is that the big rival between
UW? Yeah.
UW?
Yeah. Now it's them O State now, so we got that little rival going on.
How different was the recruiting process in the portal compared to Michigan State? I looked you up. You were a 3-star recruit coming out of high school. Went to Oregon. I imagine you were one of the top guys in the portal. How different was that recruiting process?
So high school, I was under recruited. Most people would say. My 4 top schools coming. I was Ole Miss, Purdue, Michigan State, and Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss wanted me for O-line. Then the rest, I was going to go to Purdue. My D-line coach ended up getting fired at Purdue. Then that's when Michigan State and Coach Tucker came and offered me. And so I went that route. But it was totally different because high school, I wasn't getting recruited, like I said, that much. Then I get to that portal, I'm getting like 50 phone calls an hour a day just to talk to schools, and that was hectic because I wasn't used to that. So getting all those phone calls and trying to really weave out who's really trying to better you as a player, then who's just trying to bring you in, fill up a spot, and things like that. So you got to weave out those situations, those people very quickly because that portal is really 2-3 weeks open, and that's the time. That's real. I feel like that was probably a big decision. Is in that portal, you got such a small time to really make that decision.
Mm.
Best quarterback you played against in college?
Pickens.
Pickens.
Yeah. Pickens. I never beat him when he was at Washington.
Oh, Penix.
Penix. My bad.
I was like, George? I was like, George?
I was like, I didn't know where you were going, but shoot.
You know what I'm talking about. Penix. Yeah, he was at Washington for 2 years. We played him 2022, then 23, and then the bill, and I was at Michigan State. So.
What was it like playing for Dan Lanning? I've seen plenty of videos of him. He seems like a very intense guy.
I love that guy.
Was it different than Mel Tucker when you left him for Michigan State? How different was that?
I want to say it was different because they both comes from the same tree, the Saban tree.
Mm-hmm.
So they come from the same coaching style and the coaching setup. But what was different about Dan Lanning, he was a young coach, so he can relate to his players. And then for me and him on a personal level, we just connected because his wife, she had cancer. Then when I was growing up, of course, my story, mom, health issues, then at that time, that's when she had her stroke. So we connected on that level of peace and really just fellowship and breaking bread and just really getting to learn his players. And what I love about Coach Lanning, he wants to make sure his team is so connected just from a standpoint of we during training camp or fall camp, we're meeting with different positions. So I'm in a room with a backup kicker, the freshman DN, the freshman guard, and everybody in that room is just telling their story, how they grew up. And that's really like POU, is really learning your teammates. Because once you learn your teammates and connections, so like Cam, I learned his story. I'm going to fight for him differently because I know where he's coming from. I know what he's really trying to get to. So that right there, he really preached connection. That's what we really installed into the team. That's why I really love Coach.
We talk about Michigan State a little bit. What was Connor Heyward as a teammate like?
A goofball in that locker room. He was cool. He was a goofball, dog.
What did you have? Was Connor a senior when you were there, or what? How old was Connor then?
He was a senior. Yeah.
I call Cam. His nickname is Head, but I call him Hootie from Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah, because that's when he went from running back to tight end that year. So yeah, he was a senior, and that was my freshman.
Think of Connor as an adult in a locker room.
I still don't. I still don't. What's the key moment in your college career?
Beating Ohio State.
Good
I
answer.
never beat them, and that feeling was so good, boy. Oh boy, that feeling was.
Were
so
you
good.
confused when he slid during that game?
I didn't care.
All right, so in that Oregon game, late in the game, 5 seconds left, Ohio State has an untimed down because you guys got on purpose, what seems like, too many men on the field.
Yeah.
Was that planned? Was that supposed to be the case? What'd you think?
See, that part, man, I don't know, man. I remember just waking up the next day, just seeing that what he did, but at the time I didn't know because it was a 2-minute drill, and I'm tired, and so I didn't know what was going on. But he ended up having a team meeting about it. He said it was on purpose, but hey, you never know.
What do you think? Do you think he really knew, or was it just kind of luck?
I ain't gonna lie. If you know Coach Lanning, he's a smart coach. Like he's very smart and just.
So
did
y'all clap it up for Coach Lanning after you did that?
Yeah, we clapped.
Gosh. Were you mad at the kid when he was first on the field? They have 12 people on the field.
I didn't know we got a penalty in that. It was 2 minutes. I'm tired, so I hear a whistle. I'm thinking that somebody called a timeout. I don't know what was going on at that moment, but. Once we went back home, sitting on Twitter, everybody was just laughing, man. But once he came, he addressed it. Can't remember what he said. He addressed it. He said he did it on purpose, but we never know.
We always love to ask people what their welcome to the NFL moment was. What was your welcome to college football moment?
Ooh, that's a great question. I'd say really that fall camp in 21, my freshman year, it was just different. We did 2-spot, so you getting a lot of reps, like reps everywhere. And K9, K9, he's over Seattle now, our running back. I had him in a hole. He just shook me on my boots quick, and just from that point forward, like that was probably my welcome to college moment.
You talk about him. He's talking about Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
You have a
You know what I love about Dereck? You could tell that football really matters to him. It's important to him. You know, he's very aware. You know what he said about the coaching tree, where he came from, Dan Lanning and the ex-Michigan coach. He's very in tune to the history of football and everything that's going. That just shows me that it's important to him. And when you watch his tape, every single play, he gives maximal effort. I think he's going to be phenomenal.
story like that with Kenneth Walker where you thought you had him right?
I was just talking about last night. We were at Seattle, and like he's got a lot of same tendencies as Le'Veon, where he's patient, and like his vision was just like, I thought I had him in the hole, and he hit me with like, he backed up and then cut across the field. I was like, damn.
Yeah, bro.
I thought that was the first person that really got me in the league, though.
He's shifty, too shifty.
Yeah.
But yeah, great player.
Back to the combine, what was your experience there like?
It was good, man. It was once in a lifetime experience. Everybody want to get to the combine. It was a lot of hurry up and waiting going on, but
Did you like the part? I always hate this part where like they bring everybody up on stage. You got weigh in. You in some little ass shorts, and like it's just all the coaches looking at you.
I don't want to get in trouble, but I hated that part. I hated that part. Then you get out there, yelling your name. Then you wait. Then he tell you stand up on the board so you can get your height. Boy, it was.
And then he started clapping.
What are we clapping at?
Exactly.
Other than booing. What if they like, oh no, it would be way worse. At least they're clapping you.
My worst part was when we got in the locker room. I don't know if y'all did. We got in the locker room. Then you went in the locker room. Then you got to strip again and take a picture next to a screen that got your height.
Oh, we didn't have those back then.
Bro, we in tights. You like they make you squat down, make you do a full 360. You in the locker room in front of everybody just naked again.
What was the most memorable, bad or good interview you had there? Or any crazy questions?
I had no bad ones in the combine. Everything was really.
Did you have a roommate?
Yeah.
Mine was Marcel Darius.
Mine was my D tackle, Jamari Caldwell.
Oh, so you actually had a teammate.
Yeah.
I had Marcel Darius, and I felt like Marcel, he was like, I don't really care about this. I'm going to stay up late. He was taking wings back to the room.
For real?
Bro, he had it made. He went like top 5. So for me, I was like all nervous. And so I'm just watching him, and he's having a good old time. I'm over here stressing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was not a good situation.
No.
There was a whole lot of stressing going on. Believe that, though.
Describe your playing style to all the Steelers fans.
I feel like I'm a player that got some grit to him, that's powerful, and uses power to finesse things also. But a very gritty player. Sometimes it can get me in trouble, some of my coaches might say. Might cost the team in the early downs, but it comes from just me playing aggressive, and that's all I really learned how to do is play aggressive and really hard-nosed football just from where I grew up at, so.
I'm telling you, he's got a mean streak that you don't see in a lot of today's players. He's a throwback player. He's got that grit to toughness, and he has the talent and the size on top of it. So he's going to be nothing but an absolute steal.
What are some things you want to work at?
Really, as far as me, my past was I got to learn how to start winning my first moves because on my tape, I win on my second moves a lot, on my transitional rushes. And my run is really playing with my extension consistently, and shedding off them blocks consistently.
Who's and you don't have to say him, so don't feel pressure.
Please don't.
Who are some guys you looked up to watching them play when you were younger?
This man right here.
Really? Is that true, though?
That's true.
Everybody always lies to him in front of him. They want to make him feel better. If you don't really watch him, don't watch him.
That's true. It was him, but it was him in the run game because pass was
what?
I was just playing. I was just playing.
You like that, though. You always say nobody gives.
He did have 8 sacks last year. Cam Heyward's going to have over 100 sacks from the nose guard position in his career when it's all said and done, and that's absolutely phenomenal. Last year, Pro Football Focus had him, 90, I think 85.5 or a 90.5 in run support, 8 sacks, absolute stud and monster in his 16th or 17th year. Cam Heyward should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt about it.
Gives you credit for the run game, though. At least he was watching you at one of your favorite things you do.
Nobody gives you credit for the pass game either.
No,
so damn, I'm trying to get both.
Hello. But no, man, him in the run game for sure, because this man right here plays so consistently in the run with his hands. Then you playing that 4-eye, and I went to Oregon, I never played 4 out in my life. It was a straight. I came from Michigan State. It was a straight 4 down front that you were attacking, and y'all play. Of course, we play 4 out here now. So just seeing that, and so just trying to learn little key things like that. And in the pass rush, I say Chris Jones for sure.
You got any pregame rituals or superstitions I need to worry about?
No, I just put my music on. Got Detroit rappers in my ear, and I'm just locked in.
Who's your Detroit rapper you go
Baby
to?
Money.
Baby Money?
Yeah.
What's the other big one?
Babyface Ray?
No, not Babyface Ray. T Grizzly.
Oh, T Grizzly. Yeah.
You'd like T Grizzly? That's the one. But you didn't know anybody else that he just said. Right?
No, Babyface Ray.
Do you?
Yeah.
You got him on your phone?
Yes. Do I need to show you?
No, we can move on.
That's what I thought, yeah.
What should Steeler fans be prepared to see about your game, and how do you think you'll fit with the current defensive line?
I think I feel well, man. That line up there, them guys in the front, like I said, play with some grit to them, and like I'm gonna fit right in because I got some grit to me too, and my play style really true. Like I've been saying, whatever role this team need me to play, I'm gonna play to the best of my ability. So that's a guy's gonna come in and be a day one starter, or that's a guy's gonna have to work his way up. Whatever role I'm gonna have, I'm gonna play to the best of my ability.
Outside of football, what are your interests and hobbies?
I play the drums. And I might see me in training camp with him, but play the drums. I fish. I bow. I was on the bowling team in high school, so I bow.
What's your best game?
230.
230?
Yeah, but I never touched it again.
You can't go back. You end on a high note. Love that.
Are you the guy with the spin?
Yeah, I can spin that thing.
Oh.
Lefty or righty?
Righty.
Okay.
I can spin. Only put 2 fingers in and just leave a thumb out, and that thing going down.
What's the best advice you've received since you've been drafted?
Enjoy it. Enjoy it. That for me, just enjoy the moment. That's it.
Any personal goals for your rookie season?
Personal, really, like I said, man, just my thing was just find that vet, get under that vet, then find my role. And whatever that role is, just try to do it to the best of my ability. That's what I'm really here for, and play some good ball.
You got anything you're nervous about going into or they haven't told you about yet?
Not really. Only thing I'll probably say this long season.
It's different.
Yeah. I thought I had a long season last year, but no, this is different.
Well, I feel bad for like rookies because like there's so much preparation from training for the combine that you don't even give yourself a chance to really relax, and then it's going to, rookie mini camp, and then mini camp, and then it's training camp, and then it's regular season, or no, not even regular season, but preseason, then it's regular season, then it's playoffs.
Right.
And it's tough for a lot of rookies because it gets to like week 11, then they start looking around like, I should be done with this right now.
I'm already knowing. That's why they say your rookie year is going to be the longest year of your career.
Yeah.
What team or player are you most excited to play against?
Derrick Harmon.
Baltimore. Good answer. The physicality. You think he's ready for the physicality of that game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him. I like YA as well.
Yeah, Big Black.
So no, I think those two are ready for get down in the trenches.
Okay.
Should be fun. How do you handle the pressure of being a first-round pick? I think everybody always asks this question. I want to hear your answer, and then I got a follow-up for you.
Truthfully, you got to cancel out the outside noise.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. That's what I've been doing my whole career. You can't be focused, and don't take no offense, but you can't be focused on the guy's probably in the basement of his mom's crib, see what he's saying about you. And that's how I look at it, dude. And people gonna love you, people gonna hate you. Just gotta keep playing ball at the end of the day. That's how I look at it.
I've always looked at it as, people have their own pressure. I mean, I measure myself differently than what other people expect from me. And so looking at it from an outsider's perspective, it was always, I don't care what anybody else thinks. I got to do what's right for me. And then the first round of it all, I'm looking at it as I have to prove it for myself because they invested in me.
See, there you go.
Because it's not enough just to get drafted. It's about, you come to, a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers, and there's history behind it. And, I got to make everybody a believer because of it. And, everybody's believing me this far, and the Steelers believe in me. And so it's just almost a handshake of saying, like, I'm gonna do my job too. I'm gonna buy into this. I'm gonna be a part of the Steelers. I'm gonna be a part of something that's really special. So,
Right.
you know, I think you got a great head on your shoulders, and you know, we got a great group that's gonna welcome you.
I can tell.
It's not just me, TJ, Minka, on the defensive side of the ball, but you know, we got a good group of guys that just hungry to win.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't care how it gets done or who gets the pub for it, but I think it's just about coming in with the right mindset of just trying to get better.
That's it.
You know.
So I want to play a game though. I like to play a game with our guest. Ask Cam anything. You're obviously a rookie here. He's been here for 15 years. Any questions you got for him that can maybe help you prepare for this rookie season?
What was it like your rookie year? How did you adjust from real rap? How did you adjust coming out of college?
Well, I was coming on into a team that just went to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing the D-line coach said to me then, John Mitchell, I love him, but the first thing he told me was, man, you better get on special teams because I got my starters. Because, you know, he was like, I got superstars. I got Casey Hampton. I got Brett Kiesel, Aaron Smith. Then I got a first rounder in Ziggy Hood right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
So I was the second first round pick they had taken.
Right.
But I think it was just about learning and being a sponge, asking the right questions. You know, I always gravitated to the older guys because I wanted to see how they prepared, how they went about their business. You know, watching James Harrison, you know, take care of his body off the field was huge for me.
I don't even feel like mentioning his name, but just look at the maturity between Derrick Harmon and George Pickens. George Pickens couldn't do an interview like this. He'd have a hood down to here over his eyes. He'd be it's just a night and day different type of personality and professionalism when you deal with Derrick Harmon. You can tell it means something to him. Football means a lot to Derrick Harmon. Look at the question is phenomenal.
Me. I watching Troy Polamalu, you know, spend extra time in the weight room, ask extra questions. You know, I always think the players who ask the most questions usually are the most successful. You know, it's the guys that aren't afraid to ask them or aren't afraid to be embarrassed a little bit because the dumb questions are the questions not asked. And so, you know, being an open book and just embracing everything is huge because the rookie year is just it's a monster. It's a monster.
Well, and you came in through a lockout too. I don't know if you mentioned that too. So how different was that for you? A little bit different. You didn't get all the stuff he got to do.
Bro, I didn't even get a playbook.
For real?
Like I showed up the first day of training camp. Hold on, we'll leave that. But first day of mini camp, right, or training camp, and I had no playbook. I didn't even run with the team, so I'm feeling like I'm already out of shape, even though I've been running on my own because I don't know what to expect. I didn't talk to the strength coach, and so I was scared. I was like, I don't even know what to expect with this.
So y'all didn't do no 30 visits?
No, we couldn't because of the lockout.
Oh wow!
So I got drafted, showed up one day here, then they flew me right back out, and so it was wild because I didn't really get the chance to learn my teammates, and I felt like everybody was just looking at me sideways when I first walked in. But after that, I kind of just learned from them. And I had a much better sense my second year just because you have a leg up because you get mini camp and training camp a lot more. So, yeah, have fun with that rookie talent show, though.
Do you know what you're going to do? What are you going to do? What advice would you give him on it?
Oh, I got some real advice for any D lineman or any rookie. Make sure you handle the snacks. Always come prepared because you'll be in a position to pass that on to the next guy. Going above and beyond as a rookie. Because when you show that to the old heads and the vets in the room, that just lets you know that you're buttoned up. You know, some guys like to complain about, oh man, they're picking on me. It's not that we're picking on you, it's just we all went through it.
Facts.
And so it's kind of like a rite of passage and just, you know, bridging the two gaps and saying, this guy's bought into the group.
Right.
And it's not just about him. He's putting his ego aside. Yeah, it used to be way worse for me. I had to go to all these different,
That's my favorite part of this whole show that Cam did with Derrick Harmon. You know, you put your ego to the side because It shows that, you want to be part of the group and be one. It was just, I love that part.
Breakfast spots and bringing in on Saturday. My rookie talent show was not good. We tried to do like a slideshow, and we was doing like who they looked like. Nobody laughed. Nobody laughed. Like, you're just offending people, and they're just like, you really did that? You really want to go down this path? And so that was funny. But no, we've had some good rookie talent shows. Keanu and Nick, they actually did like
they did Same Girl, you said. But you said that was the way to do it. Team up with somebody, right? Or that's what they said.
It's definitely a way to do it. Somebody, we had a guy, Ola, and Adeni, and Chooks Okorafor. They actually did a scene from Black Panther. Bro, one of the best scenes they ever did. Like, really? They did it word for word, and it was just like, we were like, dang, they really going through it. Like, that was amazing. Milk, he actually played the ukulele, so that was dope. But if you're bought in, everybody's gonna be in with you. Also, we make rookies sing too, so work on your song now. I think I had to sing multiple times.
Why?
Because I was the first round draft pick, so be ready for this. I had to sing. Usually we sing in the meeting rooms. Then one time they made me sing in the lunchroom on top of the table.
What?
What'd you sing?
I think I sang Usher, Nice and Slow.
What?
Because you got to remember, it's got to be a song everybody knows.
Yeah.
You on a table.
Yes, because then everybody joins in.
That makes it easier once everybody get in. I'm with you.
See, you learning.
How nervous should he be about the rookie dinner, and how bad was yours?
We'll get there when we get there.
Oh, where's it at least? Where are you making him take?
Where is that?
We'll probably do it like Eddie Merlot's or something.
How bad was yours? Do you remember the number? And did you have any help or no?
No, it was all on me.
It was all on you?
And this was the thing. They made me buy for limousines for everybody to show up. I'm not going to make you do that. But we'll see. We had to get bottles of Louis. I had to get 3 or 4 bottles of Louis. And then I think the dinner was like, Coach Mitch, he was way too cultured. And so he would fly in like these big old steaks, like they look like this. And then he'd fly in lobster tails and then shrimp. And then he would get cakes from everywhere. Then the wine would be exquisite. And so I think the bill was like 18 racks.
Oh.
Yeah, it was rough.
Well, and he's the 21st overall pick, so he got more than you. He's in big trouble. He's in big trouble.
I'm going to take it easy on him.
I can't wait.
Plus, you got Jack Sawyer, too. So you got.
I'm going to end it with that. I absolutely love this. You could tell Cam Heyward really loves and appreciates Derrick Harmon as a football player, as a person. You don't get one small sniff of resentment at all. And remember, the Pittsburgh Steelers drafted Derrick Harmon to eventually take Cam Heyward's job. And what is Cam Heyward doing? He's decided to do it the Steeler way and show them the traditions and customs of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2.